I'm Paul Perkins with the check of your ag weather. After highs this afternoon in the mid-30s to the low 40s and some breezy north winds, those north winds diminish to light levels tonight when high pressure moves overhead. A ridge of high pressure builds onto the plains this weekend through early next week for a major warming trend and the return of dry weather. Highs warm from the low 50s tomorrow into the low to mid 60s by Sunday as the ridge of high pressure moves overhead. Highs peak in the low to mid 70s on Monday. Fire concerns increase by Sunday, reaching near critical levels in some locations on Monday. A cold front drops our highs slightly into the upper 50s to the mid 60s for Tuesday and Wednesday. Highs rebound into the mid to upper 60s on Thursday. Precipitation chances return Thursday night. The best chances coming up next Friday. Precipitation type and track are uncertain, and it is a system that bears watching since some colder air will be mixing in. For the long-term forecast, Nebraska and Kansas temperatures transition from seasonal to slightly warmer than normal the mid to late part of next week to seasonal and slightly cooler than normal by next weekend through the first day of spring on March 20th. Precipitation in Nebraska and Kansas mostly above normal Wednesday through March 20th, especially across Nebraska the mid to late part of next week. Key weather factors influencing the markets include warmer temperatures and more storms in the U.S., hot and dry weather for parts of Brazil, and heavy rain ending in Argentina. Low pressure across the central plains races eastward and weakens, reaching the mid-Atlantic coast tomorrow. A trailing storm tracks across the southern U.S., generating some late-week snow on the southern plains and weekend rain as far north as Arkansas, Tennessee, and the Carolinas. Early next week, the continuation of a split jet stream results in additional weak, fast-moving disturbances across both the north and the south, including a storm along the Canadian border that delivers a quick shot of colder air across the northern plains and the upper Midwest. Rainy weather could return across the southwest U.S. as early as Tuesday, a system that arrives on the plains Thursday night into next Friday. Milder air through much of the U.S. early next week begins to cool by late next week and the following weekend. Mississippi and Ohio River water levels are lower than they were last week, but remain high enough. Soil moisture in the Delta, though, is still an issue for spring planting. Across Brazil, crop stress has been high in many areas for immature corn and soybeans and the recently planted second crop corn. Rain chances improve for southern and eastern Brazil by next week. For central and southern Argentina, further crop damage was reduced by recent heavy rain, while northern Argentina remained too hot and dry. Cooler and drier conditions take hold in all of Argentina next week. In the Black Sea region, very mild temperatures are encouraging green up for winter wheat, but soil moisture is very low for poor crop conditions. With the check of your ag weather, I'm Paul Perkins.